On it say gangsters, we're back again with another video. And man, today we're back again with the early 2050 cent shit. You already know I gotta fit the streets, you feel me? So today's video is gonna be a super beginner friendly tutorial, as in I'm gonna show you how to make melodies even if you're a beginner. So you're perfectly gonna learn how to make those early 2000 R&B melodies for 50 Cent or those R&B artists from the early 2000 or even the new recent ones. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Yeah. So whenever making these melodies, you wanna range between 90 all the way up to 105 BPM. For this melody in particular, I chose 98 BPM, and 9 times out of 10 with these melodies you actually want to start with a guitar. And for this melody in particular, I use the Ilya Efimov nylon guitar, and I've actually used the Spanish preset, and this is the way it sounds. So as you can see, the chord progression of this guitar is very catchy, and this is one of the major secrets when making this style of melodies. So if you've noticed, I've actually used the A sharp minor scale. So basically all I did was to start with a chord progression over here like this. And then the next thing I did was to actually put another chord progression over here with the A sharp, the F, and the A sharp again. And then the next thing I did was to actually select these notes and pressing Option plus S or Alt plus S. And then once this Romizer opens here, if you are an FL of course, you can just increase the time like this. And all I did was to kind of put it in this position here so that I have the last note that is kind of around this area over here. So that's how you can do the realistic guitar effect. Now at this point, the next thing I did was to actually select this first chord progression that we have at the beginning and dragging it all the way over here. And then the next thing I did was to adjust these notes over here, because this one here is actually on the black note, so it means that it is out of key, and the other one here didn't actually sound good, so I actually wanted to hit the right chord. So I moved this one by 1 semitone and this other one by 2 semitones, and then once again I copied this other one and I put it over here. You feel me? Now at this point I selected these notes, copied them again over here, but in this case I've actually lowered down this one and this other one. Now, and instead of leaving it like this, I've actually put some notes over here like this, so that it will sound like this. You feel me, bro? It's a very cool trick that gives that very nice melodic and harmonic and very catchy vibe to the melody. Now once gotten to that point, I've actually added these notes that you see over here so that the melody will switch up a little bit. Very basic stuff, man, but bro, you see the way he sounds good? You feel me? Now another important thing that I did with these notes is that if you look over here at the beginning, the attack had been shifted slightly. That's because I really like to always have that human feeling on the guitars that I have on my melodies. So pretending that you're starting from here so that you have the notes started at the same exact time, all you need to do is to select the chord progression, pressing Alt plus S once again, and then kind of increasing the knob over here like this slightly. You don't want to have anything too crazy, like you don't want to do like this because it will be just too much. If you do something like this, you're gonna have this nice effect. You see how it is very realistic. That's the way you do it, bro. Thank me later, bro. Now the next sound I've used is an electric guitar, which is called jazz guitar, which is an electric guitar and comes from Xenology. So fire, man, so clean. And also these kind of electric guitars are the ones that are often found in these kind of melodies. So as you can see, this sound here really is the lead sound, the counter sound of the whole melody. And the trick here is once you have the foundation that I showed you with the first sound, with the first guitar, is to basically kind of match the vibe of that foundation. Of course, still leaving gaps because these melodies are very, like, they're very spacey. You want to leave a lot of space between the notes. I know that it might sound a little bit messy, but if you understand what I'm saying here, bro, you're gonna be right. And basically what you want to do with these notes is to kind of give some sort of direction to the melody. And something that I really find important with these melodies is to keep the vibe very realistic. So for example, you have these notes over here that sound like this. It shouldn't really be like that. If you were to make a normal note, you'll have it over here like a normal note like this. but it doesn't sound too real, bro. Like, it doesn't sound as if someone was actually playing it. So a cool trick is to do what I did here. So basically you have the main note, which is this one, and then you want to shift it just slightly, but it really depends on, you know, it really depends on the vibe. And of course you don't always have to do this thing, because I don't actually have it on that every damn note, you know, every now and then, just to spice things a little bit, and also kind of faking the minimal human error that could be whilst playing the guitar. And now a little bit of variations that I put between the bars is that, for example, between the second and the third bar, it sounds like this, whereas on the 6th and the 7th, it sounds like this. You know, also these minor changes really do make the difference, because unfortunately these melodies that can really get repetitive and you don't really want to get bored out of listening. If you just implement these minor changes, bro, trust me, you're gonna make wonders. Now, usually once you get to this point, you basically have the whole direction of the melody, and pretty much you want to fill up the gaps and fill up the spaces, or maybe adding some more elements just to support what you already have as main foundation of the whole melody. So for example, on the second 4 bars, I've actually used this muted guitar just to fill some spaces of the melody. You see what I mean when I'm saying using elements that kind of fill up a little bit the spaces, but they're not actual main elements. I could literally not have them. Now, a very important sound that you want to have in these melodies is actually an electric bass. Bro, I generally use this sound every single time when I make these kind of melodies. And for this melody in particular, I use the modern bass from Ilya Efimov. Sounds so fire, bro. So as you can see, bro, the piano of the bass really do follow the bass of the chord progression that we put at the beginning on the first sound. So you don't really need to complicate anything with the bass. You just want to follow basically the last note that you have on the chord progression. Sometimes you can also spice it up, but it also depends on the vibe of the melody and also if you know how to do it. But this is a beginner tutorial, so chill. Now the next sound I've used is actually some strings from Xenology, and I use the ensemble strings number 1. These are some of my favorite strings, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, what are we talking about here, man? Like, you can't tell me anything, bro. This thing is fire. It's so fire. I always like to put the strings, man. They always sound clean, bro. I ain't gonna lie. So one trick here is often starting with the root note and then playing around with the tension notes. And the tension notes are the 2 notes that you always have here and here. But in this case, I've actually played with these ones. And I've also used this other one here because I wanted to, you know, give it that extra upper note kind of effect. And of course, just trust your ears and, you know, make sure that you keep the thing catchy but not too complex. Now once you get to this point, you literally have the full melody, and if you are a beginner, of course, you will stop here. But if you want to make the level up, bro, I really recommend you using some effects. And I actually like to use a lot of the effects that I have on my drum kit. For example, I have this riser here and I have this effect here. And I also have this other one, which is, bro, I often use this one, bro. It sounds so fire, man. Let me show you. These melodies, man, it always fits, and pretty much this is what you want to have on the melody, but it also depends on the vibe of the melody. But yeah, you want to have some effects, some kind of minor perks in the background. But of course, you need to be careful with that, because otherwise you might only risk to ruin the vibe of the melody if you have too many sounds in the background. And altogether, this is the way the effects sound. You know, they kind of give that extra thing to the melody. But overall, this is the end result of the project. Now Now, as you can see, bro, this melody is very simple, because trust me, it's a very simple melody. Like, you could literally get into proper heavy complex stuff, but it is very simple. And if you can come up with something like this, bro, trust me, you're gonna make fire stuff. Now, once you're done with the melody and you want to check out if it is actually sounding good, if it is on the vibe that you were looking for, I would really recommend you, bro, this is a secret sauce that I've never told anyone. I would really suggest you using perk loops. So that's the reason why you see this perk loop over here, and I actually have a ton of perk loops from my drum kit for you to try. Bro, it is on fire, man. Like, this is a cool trick that you can do if you want to test the melody out without actually starting to make a beat just for the sake of testing it. And yeah, like I said before, on my drum kit, you're gonna find tons of perk loops to try on melodies and stuff, and also to use on beats. Bro, as you can see, this is literally a beat already made. You feel me? So you can also speed up your process when making a beat. Now, this melody right here is actually included in my latest early 2000 look kit. So if you want to check it out, link down below in the description. And also, if you want to check out the drums that I use on my beats, on the tutorials, and also the perk loops, all that kind of shit, the effects, all that, link down below in the description. You feel me? So today's video was actually a beginner tutorial kind of thing for making melodies. Now, if you want to see the drums like a proper full masterclass for beginners on how to make these beats for, like, on the drum side, let me know down below in the comments. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. I genuinely hope that you've learned something out of it. Alright, let me know down below in the comments, or DM me on Instagram, bro. I do my best to reply at the DMs as well. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Stepuz. And bro, very important thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, because apparently almost 70% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed. Bro, it's a shame, man. Like, what? Bro, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'm gonna see you on the next time. Yeah.